Hi guys, pretty much every time Marina Purkiss appears on the Jeremy Vine show, she delivers an amazing response or monologue. So the topic of the day was, of course, Rishi Sunak's desperate attempt to appeal to older voters by forcing younger people to do stuff against their will. Why are these things popular with a more senior generation? Because they look around and they see young people acting in a way they don't understand and they don't like it. Language such as lazy, work-shy, snowflake and privilege are thrown around in a very demeaning way towards a generation who are having it for the first time ever more difficult than the previous. Marina was responding to a caller who claimed that young people don't have respect. Have a listen.
They just need respect.
They're not treated. You know what I'm going to say? I will say the youth of today, they aren't treated with respect. They are just like, you can hear it today, they're just sort of like brushed off as this lazy avocado-eating generation who just waste their money and are glued to their smartphones. Well, do you know what? Maybe if we hadn't cut so much from their funding and all the youth centres and the playing fields and, I don't know, we've got a teachers' crisis. Their schools are crumbling. We've taken away their freedom of movement to work and travel and study in 27 countries. Maybe.
How did you manage to get Brexit into national service?
Because I always do. Because if we had maybe not broken that social contract with them, maybe, do you know what, they'd have a bit of respect and they'd want to serve their country.
Reasons to be
Why would
off.
they? What pride have they got in their country right now?
What pride can you have in your country right now? Well said, Marina. What pride can you have when the social contract has been torn up? The government expect you to follow the rules, to obey the laws, to work, to pay your taxes. And on the other side, you're expecting something in return, but you're getting zero in return. Young people can't even imagine the idea of retiring with a pension. It's completely impossible for them. And I'm talking really about millennials and Generation Z. They're actually having it worse. Remember, in the past, we thought things would improve over time. The next generation will have it better than the previous. That came to a grinding halt with Generation Z. They can't get on the property ladder. That's been taken away from them. They can't rely on stable employment. That's been taken away from them. Protections for them have been taken away. And they're supposed to turn around and say, yes, I'm going to sign up for national service because I care about my country. Well, my country doesn't give a crap about me, but I have to give a crap about my country. As Marina said, there's a social contract here. People follow the rules, they obey the laws, and they expect something in return, and they're getting nothing. They're actually worse than that. They're getting insulted. That's what they're getting in return. Like, the right-wing media and the Conservatives are very happy to use this narrative. Young people are lazy. They just want to waste their money. They want to spend time on Netflix or on their phones or whatever. They're not interested in actually pulling themselves up from their bootstraps like we used to. But you were able to buy a house with one income. Just think about that. A family could also go on holiday a number of times a year with one income, one salary. There are people who today can't even afford to rent. They're struggling to pay their rent. Never mind put something aside and have and buy a property. And even if they are able to eventually get something, it's a tiny, minuscule apartment somewhere on the outskirts of the city where they have to rely on crumbling infrastructure or terrible public transport in order to get to work. And when they do find a job, it's a 0-hour contract or it's some sort of job where the conditions are pretty terrible and you could be dropped and made unemployed at any particular moment. So there is no job security. There's no security in life for owning your own home. And they're constantly criticized. Well, you should be doing more. You should be working harder. When the game is completely fixed against them. The Tories are not interested in improving things for people. They're interested in gimmicks. And the latest one is a gimmick. It's about, well, we're not actually going to invest enough resources in education. We're not going to invest enough resources in the military. So what we're going to do is we'll come up with a gimmick, national service, offload responsibility onto people who have no power and no control. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.